All right, here. Let's see what we got going on here. Monday, 14/28, 13 seconds year, 2023, June, the 6th month and the 5th day. See? All right, now. I just had a phone call with an organization or someone running an organization, and he called it the basically property tax help. But I was thinking it might be just a payoff. But what it really is, it's them or him on behalf of himself or a larger group, looking to get a lien position on the house. With the upfront kind words of, we're here to help you. So, But that's the way the legal system functions, irregardless of what the motives could be. It could be this, it could be that. But anyway, he just wanted to, his main reason for getting back to me or contacting me in the first place was to provide information for those people that might not know how the system functions. And I pretty much, got him to the point, or he got to the point where he says, well, I see you're very knowledgeable in how the system functions and this and that. And so, it also goes into all these what ifs and could be's, and sometimes you got vultures that are looking to prey on those that are weaker or just don't know. But, these things happen. I mean, I can't sit here and deny it. I'm gonna provide all the evidence of it could be this, it could be that. It could also be that the guy was genuinely at heart inside, looking to help someone. Because, for whatever club reasons, and I have all kinds of thoughts that flash through the brain as what those could be. And if I really wanted to zero in and pinpoint on which one it was, which ones it could be, and blurt them out on the public record, I could. If I wanted to relax and just, let it come back or just start talking slowly and, But anyway, it is what it is. And basically, he told me, he says, well, I asked him, I says, well, how good's the offer good for? And he says, well, it goes through till November or something like that. He said, I'll follow up on a call, And I said, well, I appreciate you giving the information to me, but if I'm in a pickle and backed up in a corner, because, that's basically why he was calling in the first place. His reason is he calls around, sends letters out to people that might be in a corner and in a pickle. So, I says, well, if I get in a pickle or feeling I'm in a corner and I need some help, And he says the program's been around for a while. So it's based out of Indiana. So, that's the same state that this car is from. Indiana. See that right there? Yeah. And this is a Subaru Legacy from Japan. So here we are. We're dealing with the Black Dragon family. I know how the system functions, folks. I know what's going on through the Vatican. I even mentioned to him, the Vatican, this and that, and So we got to. But anyway, I'm just gonna relax here and just let things flow naturally. Kind of hungry, like I want some more of that. Bought a bunch of Girl Marines here today, or obtained some Girl Marines. So anyway, I can call him back, or and he said he's gonna have a follow up and whatnot. All right, cool, thanks. All right, Dennis. They're in here. Let me turn the music back up. Now, at the same time, I want to present these thoughts for and on the record, and that is this. Okay, that contact from him was a phishing call. It was a phishing call, because they watch me, folks, in the community. I'm on the government watch list too, okay? And, it could have been he was fishing to see what my living attitude was in the whole situation. Was I coming across scared? Was I coming across like I was desperate? Was I coming across like, I'm feeling perplexed and, scrambled and God, I don't know what I'm due? Am I coming across that I think the economy's going to collapse and God, I'm going to lose the house and I should really get into, having him pay the taxes off for me and get into some type of payment program to pacify someone? Am I scared that the Jesuit general, is going to do this to me if I when he's presenting a handout to me, am I scared of him where I'm going to have to bend down and kiss the ring and feel like I need to be obligated to him and all that stuff? That would be the extraterrestrial, the childish bully that runs everything, and as a what if and could be. It could be all these things. So, it could have been a phishing call. He wanted to see, they just want to know where I'm at with everything. And seeing if I'm going to tell stories, or was I going to stick to the truth, or was I going to withhold information, or was I going to just be careful with information and this and that? And I mean, God. But anyway, it is what it is. 4 and on the record, 5 and on the record, 6 and on the fence, 7 and on the house, 8 and on me. I mean, and it could be, I could get into alphabet letters and stuff like that instead of just sticking with numbers and change the verbs and the prepositions and the nouns and all that stuff around. All kinds of stuff. And there's witnesses all around. The county commissioner, okay, he's the head on the I guess the private public side. The county commissioner has all his people around, keeping eyes and ears open to what's going on, who's doing what neighbors are up to. They got church members to go around town keeping their eye on people, listening to them. Say, we're going to call him at this time. We go out and he's going to go out to the backyard and he's going to, have a performance call. Let's listen into what he's going to say. Is he going to degrade us? Is he going to call us a bunch of names when he thinks no one's listening and this and that and all that stuff, And of course, being who I am, that would be the motherly energy. I always strive to be consistent in who I am at the real nature, no matter what's around. That's where I'm at. Because, I see this grand universal, energy as though, the bully side to everything is just a child that needs some motherly help to grow. This whole societal universal existence, steeped in religious, different philosophies and beliefs. And so, being who I am, naturally, I like to stay and just be naturally consistent with the nurturing energy. Although there are times that I have the bad habit too, and I'll spout off this and that can be misunderstood, and someone could take that and run with it and start a whole war with it if they wanted to. But I've learned not to fear that stuff, and to realize, that at even higher levels, the brain is being read. Top level surveillance knows how to read intentions, thoughts, both in the short term and the long term. So anyway, that's what I still got these girl marines I want to eat and chomp on. But it could be this, it could be that. And I just like to put all the evidence out there, For some reason, I'm the big Sharon type. Anyway, I need to eat some of this stuff here. The house is free and clear. So yeah. So now I'm just back to where I used to be. The taxes are 2 years behind, legally speaking. And it could be that, I won't be able to get a job. I won't be able to pay them off. There'll be another foreclosure. Come down to it, another court battle or whatever the hell. Who knows? This and that. The economy collapsed. Ain't got no money for this. Ain't got no money for that. I mean, it could be that that the employment office, ain't gonna send me the money for for the tracer check and the Reliant card and all that, and they'll come up with some excuse to deny the unemployment benefits or whatever the fuck one wants to call it. All kinds of shit, and I just learned how to get on the surfboard and ride the wave, brothers and sisters. And then, as I'm riding the wave, I say to myself, God, I think I want to convert this into something different. Instead of a wave ride, it's a mountain climb. And or I might want it in a different moment, change it into, just a wonderful, relaxing, sitting down in a chair, enjoying something type thing. Whatever it is. Oh my God. All in all, I suppose it's a wonderful mirror reflection. Here I am, like I said, no background checks and this and that and all kinds of shit. I didn't mention background checks to him, but I almost did. I almost gave him some background checks and this and that. And so, anyway. But yeah, I let him know, he brought up the fact that, he threw the fishing line out there, as a, because there's, sometimes people can tend to go to the bad side if they want to. And they said, he threw the fishing line out there that after 3 years and the company starts foreclosure process, and that's true. They start the foreclosure process. That doesn't mean that they're going to foreclose right then and there. But, sometimes people have a temptation just to say that and leave it as it is and see if all of a sudden the other guy on the other end starts to feel fearful. Because you never know, he's probably looking to get some money out of the deal somehow, or some, praise from above, or somehow, whatever it is. And, and just in that exact moment, and he being an MK Ultra also, the Vatican pressed a certain button, and, and could go this direction, it could go that direction. A good way, a bad way. Shall I take advantage of you? Shall I use calm, fearful, statements? It reminds me of this YouTube advertisement that's going around, and it was going around and it hit me heavy, and that is, the federal government has the CDCD, and they can control everyone's bank account. If you say the wrong thing, they're going to close your bank account off and you'll be out on the streets to go die somewhere, basically how the advertisement went. And then more or less I went looking in and learning more on what's going on here, and what I discovered is, this is the beginning of that phase. And they're going to start experimenting on people that are in the federal government first with it. It's not an all-out, everything's going to come crashing down on everyone. Okay? So it's the same idea when he brings up, he says the foreclosure process is going to start in 3 years. I see you're at 2, this, and that, And when he said that, I could have got all scared. And that would have been a scare factor for me to think, oh my God, okay, well, how can you help me? How can you help me? Help me, because they're coming after me. Oh my God. It could be all kinds of things. So, when I mentioned the CDC thing, this is the way the system, or the extraterrestrial, the ET, that controls the Vatican, that controls the military, that controls the CEOs, that controls the employees, that controls the animals. Everything is done in a slow, step-by-step, small fashion. Here's a chip I just found on the ground. Everything is done in a slow, is this a sign in the hologram? Why that's placed there? To give some psychological implication and motive and pressing upon me? Could be, what if? And notice the color, it's red and all that stuff. And the poker chip, the bet, the game. But I'll give another example. The birth certificate assumed jurisdiction just didn't start all of a sudden for everyone around the whole fucking world. And then dealing with this country, the birth certificate assumed jurisdiction through the hospitals and the doctors. That was all implemented slowly. And predominantly, it was implemented through the 14th Amendment, as an example, to give an example, through the black African slaves, that they were given the opportunity to get their freedom through the use of that birth certificate. The blacks were offered freedom, but they were given a birth certificate, that's where the assumed jurisdiction starts, right there. For all that are, have that citizenship connection, that's what I figured out's going on. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and if I ain't got all the details, I ain't got all of them. But just point blank, that's a good foundation. Just blurt it out right there. It's easy to see and figure out that's what it is. And it starts through the birth certificate application bond. This all gets into engineering and knowing circuit patterns and knowing how the elements function in a circuit. Where does the energy flow? How does it start? How does it begin? What's the natural trail? Look at this thing. Look, it's got roll the dice fucking things on it. Look at that. Roll the dice things on it. Let's get in the shade here. Roll the dice. Let's get it right this time. Anyway, so, here we are, the guy on the phone, he's telling me, he says, he's explaining to me, giving me an excuse or an explanation as to why he wasn't able to call me back. He's got an old system. He's talking on his desktop. It does this, and it's connected to a Bluetooth and all this stuff. And, and sure, it could be. It could be all just a story, too. It could be an act. How am I? No, I ain't there. I don't see it, but, there is some level of trust, It could be. Why not? Anyway, I'll just keep this around 20 minutes or so, and another video comes up. Anyway, talk to you later. So, I'm going to add this part to it, too. He finally called me. It was, around 2 o'clock. But I was sitting in the front yard up against the car, and I was actually mapping out the address that was on the envelope to the letter that he sent me. It was like Royal Avenue, and I think it might be just a post box office or something like that. But Anyway, I was considering getting in the car and going on a trip to go out there and map it out and see what the hell is actually out there for that address. Anyway, I was sitting down on the edge of the car right here around 2 o'clock. I was sitting up against the the wheel or whatever the fuck. I was mapping things out, putting notes in the fucking reminders and tax codes and addresses and phone numbers and times and dates and all kinds of shit like that. And then he called, and I saw it, and it said from Siletz, Oregon, and I knew exactly that was him. He was calling me back, but it wasn't Kyle that called me back. He said that's his son. He said I guess he's got a son and a daughter that works with him in the business, and Dennis is the father, and it was Dennis that called back. Anyway, so there's more to the story there just at the last minutes as I sat down. Probably be kicking myself in the pants thinking, God, I wanted to get that last little bit in. Should I put up another quick video or not? Anyway, so here it is. All in all, it is what it is. So now if I have a self-assessment on, behavior and attitudes and, neuroticness, easiness, nervousness and all that, being honest with myself, how would I assess the whole phone call as far as the effect that it had on me? How did I, present the self? And to be honest with the self, I thought it was probably 8 out of 10, so to speak. But really, it is what it is. I would have liked to be more relaxed and whatnot, but the fucking radio was going, and he caught me here. I had to run into the house, and then the phone being on smartphones and stuff like that. And then there's this thing of silence, and I couldn't get it. We were like disconnected for a little bit, and he said that his Bluetooth went out and all that, and high-level extraterrestrial interventions and stuff like that, Really, where was it? Was I anxious or was I trusting? And I think it was a 50-50. I think it was a pretty good, 50-50, anxious and trusting thing. It wasn't as leaning side to side at times. There was more anxiousness and at times more relaxation. But 8 out of 10, I suppose, on the old bad habit Richter scale. Like it has to be that way, but it just, word on the street, something easy to say. That's pretty good. And so now I just have to get past those feelings of, oh my God, I fell short of the bar. I didn't get 10 out of 10. I really would have liked to have been just totally more relaxed with it. But, it is what it is. So, anyway, so here I am. I'm trimming trees today. So, see all this stuff on the ground over here. I got the ladder out. And over here, they're power washing over in the apartments, and I got the bushes here. I cut off the ants road because these were touching the carport, and they were able to get on there, and then they got their little trail that they got going. I wonder how they're. Yeah, they're still up there. I can still see them up here a little bit. But they're all the way at the top up there. They might be able to see something moving on the camera here. I suppose if I got up here, I could get up here. I could step down here and then get myself up on this, or step on the car. See that? Step on the car and then get up here, get the knee up here, and being the Capricorn that I am, get myself over. Managing anxiety and imbalance, and not break the boards and not fall off. bump heads and stuff like that. But here's the ants right here. See, they can be seen. They can be seen up there. So they're kind of going crazy in a way because I interrupted their path. Their Lupe's escape isn't there anymore. So this is where they're all going in there, and then they're like, oh my God, man, exit stage left. You know, hopefully you can see that. I'm sure that's able to get on probably able to get on the video. Suppose if I wanted to, I could just get this whole thing out here and change videos, because I have a button I can push to change the camera. So there it is. So there they are. There's a real close-up view right there. See, they're using this as they're crossing the border, as their border cross. See here, this is the border right here. Well, actually, the border is this whole house. This is all part of the house, and they're invading into the land. They're going down into the wall. So I'm gonna get down here. I'm gonna be very careful, not be all in a hurry. Okay, so here they were coming up here. Oh, here it is here. They're going up and down here. See, and they were using this, which is connected to the tree. See that? And then there's a few big ants in the team, and so the tree, you know, goes here, and I'm sure they were, you know, from wherever the little path is from. And like I said, you know, here I was able to start putting stuff up and seal the house. And of course, they're still kind of coming in here because there's still a little hole in here. They're getting in and out through a little tiny little hole right here, or right here it is. So, and then they're also going around to this side, and they're coming in up and down up in here till I can seal that part off too. So, you know, that'll give them some time and opportunity to regroup and come up with a new plan with the queen and think, well, let's see if we can get out of here. Maybe we can keep on invading or come up with other plans and this and that. You know, so that they're not totally sealed off completely and just locked in this wall somehow, you know. But they could still, you know, there's cracks in the wall right here. I'm sure they could probably, if they wanted to, they could figure out different route behind the wall that they get to the cracks. And there's cracks up there on the roof. You know, that would give them time. That would give them time to regroup and see if they could get out of there, and you know, all kinds of things. But anyway, so it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna stop it right here. Talk to you later.